Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. We're excited to present our final analysis on Mattel, a leader in the global toy and entertainment industry. I'm Santana, and I'm here with Benjamin, Bryn, Matthew, and Brian. Our agenda for today will begin with a short introduction, followed by our external analysis, internal analysis, business level strategy, corporate strategy, international strategy, followed by our rewards, processes, and people. Then we'll go into our recommendations, and finally our conclusion. To introduce, Mattel was founded in 1945 in El Segundo, California, and today it's a global powerhouse in toys and entertainment. With iconic brands like Barbie, Hot Wheels, Fisher-Price, and American Girl, Mattel products are sold in over 150 countries. Their reach, history, and innovation make them a fascinating case study in strategy and transformation. Going into their external analysis, Mattel operates in the competitive global toy and entertainment sector, targeting children, parents, and collectors. The company is expanding into media, licensing, and digital content to keep up with evolving consumer habits. Key competitors include LEGO, Hasbro, and Spin Master, with challenges ranging from powerful retailers to digital substitutes like Roblox and Netflix. Despite the pressures, Mattel's shift to IP-driven content positions them well for future growth.
For the internal analysis, we looked at how valuable, rare, imitatable, and organized the Mattel brand is. So Mattel has a strong competitive edge thanks to its portfolio of iconic brands like Barbie, Hot Wheels, Fisher-Price, American Girl. These brands hold deep emotional value, which make them very highly valuable. Their licensing partnerships, especially with Disney for Toy Story and the Princess line, further enhance their value. These deals are rare in the industry and signal the trust major IP holders have in Mattel. While some capabilities like manufacturing or distribution are common across the industry, Mattel's brand heritage is hard to imitate. You can't easily recreate the cultural significance or nostalgia associated with Barbie, for example. Finally, the company is well organized to capitalize on these strengths. Under the CEO, Mattel has shifted into an IP-driven model with internal teams like Mattel Films and Mattel TV that support brand growth across entertainment, licensing, and merchandising. So overall, Mattel's brand strength, rare partnerships, and ability to execute gives it long-term competitive advantage. At the business level, Mattel follows a differentiation strategy. They stand out by offering more than just toys. They deliver emotional experiences built around powerful, recognizable brands. Their shift to become an IP-driven company means they now focus heavily on storytelling, entertainment, and content. The Barbie movie is a great example of this. It was more than just a movie. It helped boost Barbie products' sales globally. Mattel also differentiates through educational value, especially with Fisher-Price, which combines play with learning and child development. They further strengthen their position with executive licensing deals like regaining the Disney Princess line, and through innovation in product design and cultural resonance like the diverse range of Barbie dolls. Mattel's strategy is about using its brand strength, storytelling power, and cultural awareness to stay ahead in a very competitive toy and entertainment market.
Moving on to Mattel's corporate structure, Mattel uses a divisional structure organized around two key dimensions: major brands and geographic regions. On the brand side, each product line, like Barbie, Hot Wheels, Fisher-Price, and American Girl, operates with a high degree of autonomy. These brand divisions manage their own product development, marketing, and strategy, which helps them stay agile and focused on their core audiences. On the regional side, Mattel is divided into markets such as North America, Europe, Asia Pacific, and Latin America. These regional teams adapt strategies to local preferences, regulations, and market conditions. This dual structure allows Mattel to maintain global consistency while staying responsive to local needs. Supporting both sets of divisions are centralized functions like finance, HR, and supply chain that ensure operational consistency, risk management, and the sharing of best practices across the company. It's worth noting, though, that Mattel hasn't always been structured this way. In the past, the company was more siloed and less integrated, but over time, and especially under CEO Ynon Kreiz, Mattel reorganized to better align with its strategic goals. This included the creation of divisions like Mattel Films and Mattel Television to support the shift towards IP-driven brand expansion. Today, this structure reflects Mattel's evolution into a global toy and entertainment company. Now, let's take a look at Mattel's international strategy. In the past, Mattel followed a fully standardized approach, offering the same products and marketing around the world. But this didn't always connect with local consumers. One example was the House of Barbie store in Shanghai, which didn't perform well because it wasn't tailored to the local market. Since then, Mattel has adopted a hybrid approach. This means they keep the core of their global brands consistent, but they adapt product, features, marketing messages, and even packaging to reflect local cultures and preferences. For example, a Barbie doll sold in North America might look different from one sold in Asia, and that's by design. Strategic partnerships also play a key part of this approach. In China, Mattel works with Alibaba to gain access to local online marketplaces. In other regions, they partner with local distributors and manufacturers to improve reach and efficiency. E-commerce plays a major role in their international growth. Mattel sells through platforms like Amazon and other regional online retailers, and they also operate their own direct-to-consumer websites. This helps them access a broader audience and gather valuable insights from customer behavior. So the international strategy is really about balance. Mattel maintains strong brand identity on a global level, but they adapt to ensure they remain relevant in diverse and changing markets. Now that we've looked at how Mattel is structured, let's talk about how that structure actually works in practice and supports execution. One of the key strengths of Mattel's setup is how it balances autonomy with alignment. Each brand division, like Barbie or Hot Wheels, has a lot of freedom to operate. These teams handle their own product development, marketing, innovation, and even partnerships. That independence allows them to move quickly, stay close to their audiences, and respond to trends as they happen. At the same time, there's still a clear connection to company-wide strategy. Leadership at the top sets overall priorities and long-term goals, and those goals are passed down to the brand and regional teams in the form of specific objectives. For example, if the focus is on growing digital content, each division knows exactly how they are expected to contribute to that end goal. What makes this structure effective is the accountability built into it. Every team is regularly reviewed based on key performance indicators. These reviews help track progress, measure results, and keep everyone aligned with the bigger picture. Another advantage of this model is how success can be scaled. When something works for one brand, it often becomes a guide for others. A great example is the Barbie movie. That project combined entertainment, storytelling, and product development in a really impactful way. Since then, other teams like Hot Wheels and American Girl have started using similar strategies. So, while the structure gives teams room to lead, it also keeps everything connected. That balance is what allows Mattel to execute on big ideas across different markets and product categories while still staying consistent with the company's overall direction.
In terms of Mattel's rewards, they place a strong emphasis on their employee well-being and recognition as part of their broader long-term strategy. They have been awarded the Great Place to Work certification the past 4 consecutive years, which is a certification given to employers who show high employee satisfaction and a positive workplace culture. They offer comprehensive rewards and benefits, including competitive pay, performance-based bonuses, and health benefits that support both physical and mental wellness. They also focus on more intrinsic-based rewards and compensation through programs like the Maddie Awards, which is their internal recognition program where employees are celebrated for their contributions in a very community-oriented and publicly recognized kind of manner. They also offer flexible wellness programs and generous parental leave policies that help support work-life balance, which contributes even more to their high levels of engagement and retention across the company. And overall, their rewards approach and system is a key part of their broader culture that values people, purpose, and performance. For processes, Mattel uses a sort of hybrid manufacturing model which means they produce their core brands like Barbie in-house in their company-owned facilities, and they outsource their non-core products to their trusted third-party partners that they have located around the world. Their success broadly depends on cross-functional collaboration with operations, supply chain, ESG teams, among many other business units working together to ensure compliance and coordination with their corporate level strategy. Ethical sourcing is a big part of their processes. All their manufacturing undergoes regular supplier audits and must comply with strict labor, safety, and environmental standards. And in line with their environmental goals, Mattel also pushes for sustainable leadership. They have targeted net zero waste and a 50% reduction in their emissions by 2030, and many of their facilities have already received certification for waste diversion. In terms of their people and people strategy, they're kind of placed at the core of everything Mattel does. Mattel fosters a values-driven culture that is grounded in integrity, respect, and equity. As of 2024, the company achieved global pay equity, which reinforces their commitment to fairness across all their various roles and operating regions across the world. They have a proudly diverse workforce, and inclusion is supported through many ERG groups, employee resource groups, like those shown on the slide, which represent Women of Mattel, Veterans and Allies at Mattel, Black at Mattel, among many other listed on their website. These ERGs are completely employee-led communities that aim to foster a sense of belonging amongst their employees while at work. Mattel has also adopted strong human rights principles, and they collaborate with groups and other third-party companies such as the Mekong Club to combat and eliminate forced labor within their supply chain and operations, as well as just more broadly speaking, upholding ethical standards. And all put together, their people and people strategy aims to ensure that employees feel supported and empowered while at work.
Moving into the strategic recommendations of the company, we kind of broke it down into 4 different paths. So the first one being strengthening their supply chain resilience by investing in vertical integration via acquisitions and partnerships. This will help to reduce the reliance on Asian manufacturing by expanding into North and South America. The second being to accelerate digital content strategies, so developing immersive experiences using both augmented reality and virtual reality, as well as streaming platforms to capitalize on brands like Barbie, Hot Wheels in the digital space. The third one being to target premium and collector markets by expanding the adult-oriented and limited edition toy lines. This kind of helps to leverage the nostalgia factor and brand loyalty for some new revenue streams. And the fourth and final one was the investment in people and culture, so kind of strengthening employee engagement and doing this by improving professional development and learning cultures and boosting diversity, inclusion, and performance-based incentives tied to innovation. Next thing we want to look at is the future outlook for Mattel. So obviously, as we previously mentioned, the shift to digital space is very important. So adapting to these industry shifts, evolving with the growing demand for that digital and interactive experience, I think will be very important for Mattel. Blending the physical and digital offerings to serve that wider consumer base, I think will be extremely beneficial for the company moving forward. The supply chain and operational strategies of the company, as previously mentioned, will help to diversify manufacturing locations and manage that global and geopolitical risk, improve efficiency and flexibility through the strategic vertical integration of their supply chains. The internal culture and innovation of the company will help to foster a culture of inclusion and creativity and support that ongoing innovation to keep pace with consumer trends. Lastly, looking at a few concluding notes for Mattel, we obviously know that they have a very strong brand portfolio, so their iconic brands like Hot Wheels, Barbie, Fisher-Price, American Girl, and many others. Having that brand equity kind of enables Mattel to compete across generations and different markets, as well as their strategic collaborations, kind of like the one they did with Hasbro, will help to boost market visibility and sales across different platforms. The strategic shift to the IP model and digital content space kind of emphasizes that transformation of brand reimagination. So expanding into those immersive digital experiences and streaming platforms, and having that IP-focused model kind of unlocks value beyond just traditional toy sales. And the effective organizational culture with an employee-first culture promoting innovation and diversity, strong internal alignments and professional development and inclusion, balanced rewards, and performance-based incentives will help to drive productivity within the company. And as kind of a final thought, I think that with the right balance of tradition and innovation, Mattel is well positioned for sustainable growth in this rapidly evolving industry. Thank you.